On Nationwide this evening, the fishing family still looking to the sea to continue a 100-year-old tradition. Think global, drink local. That's the message on the Donegal Peninsula now that it has its own brewery. And starting young in business, the Donegal chaps who got into business though they're still at school. And you're very welcome. And this evening we're bringing you a programme on people who are up and running in business and who, despite all the gloom round about, are keeping the best side out. We're coming to you from County Donegal on an absolutely magnificent day, and we're here to meet two of the country's youngest entrepreneurs. Ronan McGarvey is just 13 years of age and his brother Connor is only 10, and despite their youth they have their very own company up and running. It's called Donegal Pens and it manufactures handcrafted wooden pens. The whole enterprise began about a year ago when the two boys got together to learn something of the craft of the wood turner. And since then, if you can live with the pun, they have carved out a very successful little niche for themselves in the handcrafted pen market.
Most garden sheds are full of clutter, but for the McGarvey brothers, it's a craftsman's heaven. Surrounded by the raw materials and tools of the trade, this is where Ronan and Connor run Donegal Pens, with the occasional help from Dad Owen.
Dad uses the bandsaw because the blade's circulating all the time and it's very dangerous for me and Connor. And then once it's cut on the bandsaw, we have to put the drill bit into the lead and jam the piece in the chuck, turn the lid on and drill it out.
Quite the experts now with the equipment, but wood turning was just a bit of a hobby they started up about a year ago.
Started when we were away on holidays last year. We were up in the shopping outlet Junction 1 and there was a big craft fair on there and your man was letting people turn their own pens. He was called Jeff Tulip. He taught us there. He let us kind of bang on ourselves, but he was there to give us hints when we needed help.
He learnt us about all the wood and all the different kinds and everything. I know yew, olive, bog oak, wenge, ash, beech and other ones as well.
The boys learnt quickly through practice and from getting advice from other wood turners.
We got our first lathe in September and then we were up in this kind of shop and we bought pen mandrels, the thing that the pens be turned on.
Well, your man up in the shop was very helpful. He was telling us what to get and what not to get. I was at a day course with the Jeff fella and he taught me most of it and then I taught it to Connor. Do you have your step centre? My uncle built all the benches and everything for us and then we kept extending the benches and benches and benches till we ran out of space. When you have the both pieces drilled, then you glue the metal insert in and then you square the edges with the drill so that you don't have a bad edge on your pen when you have it finished.
Well, when the glue and everything's dry, I would start to turn down the block of wood with the chisel. When it's all turned down, you have to put the sandpaper on it, which makes it a lot smoother. I'm going to start to sand it now and have you the masks. Then there's this stuff you can get in a jar which seals it. Then you have to put the lightest grit of sandpaper on it again. After that you have to put the polish on it and polish it and wax it.
They soon realised their hobby could make them some money.
They're fun to make and then we decided just to make it into a business. And Dad said, right then you can try it out if you want.
Most evenings, I'll not say every evening, but most evenings you'll hear one of them saying to the other, come on, we'll go to the shed, and they've been doing that, and obviously then there's that little bit of excitement when someone of the craft shops or whatever phone up looking for an order, or when an order comes in on the website. Both of them are members of the Irish Woodturners Guild. I've brought them now to maybe 5 or 6 of the meetings over the past number of months, and they've getting on really, really well there. Some of the guys that are there, some of them have been wood turning maybe for 30, 40 years, and they've been really supportive to them, really helpful.
They swap about doing the different parts of the pen making, which helps keep a good supply of finished pens.
Well, is that there good enough? What do you think? When you put it back on?
It's alright.
They buy in some pre-cut wood, but Dad comes in very handy when they are sourcing other timber.
There's a plentiful supply out there. It's a matter of maybe going looking for it, or keeping the ear to the ground where someone's chopping down trees, or in some cases just being told about maybe trees that have fallen down or whatever.
A prize find is the bog oak that appears from the boglands that surround their Lochanuir home.
To be told about a piece of bog oak, it's good, and as I said, it's difficult to come by. So now and again, when people would be cutting turf, if they would come across a piece worthwhile, worth taking out of the bog, they would maybe phone the boys or whatever and say, listen, come and have a look at this. Some of the pieces you get in the bog are very small, but you might be lucky enough to get a bigger piece.
As soon as the ancient oak is out of the bog, it has to be wrapped up.
It stops the timber from cracking, because if it starts to crack you can't use it, because when you're turning it down on the lathe it'll split.
Not counting the digging, a pen can take up to an hour to make, with the final processes involving the pen mechanisms, tops and nibs.
Both of us kind of do quality control over them, but Dad would take a peep at them now and then too.
Initially, they understood that the presentation of the product was important, because we did start off with a very cheap type plastic box, and that was shot down within a short time when they realised they needed a kind of a leatherette or a more presentable box. Again, the pricing of the pens and that was something that had to be figured out and discussed, and working with the docket book and writing up the invoices and that. Now Ronan would try and tackle that himself, and make sure that nobody's putting one over on him, or make sure that he's not losing a pound or two here and there.
Mum and Dad help us to drive us round to the shops and everything, so it's handy. He doesn't ask for the money for the petrol. He just likes it that we're so young and we're doing this. He's very proud of us.
The boys set up their own website where direct sales are growing, and they have their regular customers in the many local craft shops.
Hello, Ronan. Oh, Connor. He's busy. Yep. When Ronan first called me and said I'm making pens out of wood, you have a completely different image to what you see then in the finished product, and I have to say that the packaging and everything is just fantastic. Well, we only have 2 pens left from the last delivery you gave us, so we need to definitely top everything up. I think it's a fantastic product. Obviously, it's great to be able to showcase local crafts, and the fact that it's 2 young boys makes it even more special, so you can tell the story that's behind the pens to when people are buying them. So we have 3 bog oak and then 9 of the other varieties, so it's still the same price-wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did find in the beginning that it took a wee while for people to actually notice that they were there, but in recent weeks the sales have definitely gone up, and people are very happy to find a high quality product that's suitable maybe for men, so I think it fits that slot very nicely.
Alright, super Morgan. So hopefully we'll be calling you back very shortly for another order.
We probably will continue to wear older because I like it a lot and it's kind of fun as well.
I want to continue it as well because I think it kind of relaxes you when you're turning the pens.
Oh, who said you can't run a business from the shed at the bottom of your garden?